your cameras. Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response.
Perimeter secure.
Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion. KC24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox. We ended up a little bit warmer today. Current temperatures are in the 60s to lower 70s. We're right at 70 in Fresno, and the satellite picture showing very clear skies. We're done with the rain for now, and the Valley Cam showing us also mostly clear skies out there when the video actually loads in. But looking at our temperatures tomorrow, we are officially becoming autumn tomorrow in the evening, but the temperatures get warmer right on into the weekend. In fact, we're going to have to call it hot when we get back into the 90s. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. KC24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News at 11.
I cannot get in the head of someone who would make such a poor decision as to do something like this. I really think it's just so disappointing, extremely disruptive to school and to just the mindset and the comfort level of students and our parents and our staff.
2 Clovis schools forced to lock down following a phoned-in threat. Why Clovis Unified is not messing around in its response. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Barugian.
And I'm Alexander Balaki. And new at 11 tonight, it has happened again. A threatening phone call turned hoax, forcing 2 Clovis Unified schools to go into lockdown.
Our Juanita Adame spoke to school officials today about their response, and Juanita joins us now in the studio with more on their reaction. Juanita.
Well, Steph, we don't know the exact nature of the call or the threat, but officials said at the district, they told us that today that they got the suspicious phone call at their front desk. It was vague, but enough to prompt that large police response. A threatening phone call at Clovis High School prompted a lockdown on the campus early Tuesday afternoon.
We immediately, in those cases, put ourselves on a shelter-in-place facility situation where it allows our students all get inside, and then police can come in and help with an investigation to confirm that there is not, in fact, a threat.
Kelly Avance, the school's communication officer, said the lockdown not only affected Clovis High, but their nearby elementary school as well.
What we do as a protocol in those cases is anytime we have a school who gets put onto a lockdown or a shelter-in-place status, any adjacent schools, so anyone that's in close proximity, also goes on to that same status, in this case Clovis Elementary.
The hoax call is just one of many that has hit a number of schools across the state, including one here in Fresno. It was just last week that a 911 call was made reporting an active shooter on the Bullard High campus. The call prompted a large response from police and panic from worried parents.
At least 40 police units, specialized units, all descended on the school, fearing the worst, that our most precious resource, our children, might have been hurt.
The nature of the Clovis High hoax call is not known.
I'm not privy to the details of their investigation.
But Avance said Clovis police also quickly responded.
We have wonderful partnerships with our law enforcement. We have our own police force here in Clovis Unified. They were immediately responsive.
She said the hoax affected many of their students and staff on both of their campuses.
I cannot get in the head of someone who would make such a poor decision as to do something like this. I really think it's just so disappointing, extremely disruptive to school and to just the mindset and the comfort level of students and our parents and our staff.
Now, there was also a hoax call made at 3 Madera schools last week. An 11-year-old student was responsible for those calls. That child will face misdemeanor charges. Live here in the studio, Juanita Adame, KC24, local news that matters.
Juanita, thank you. And new at 11, police say 3 women were shot with a gel gun outside Fresno's Fashion Fair Mall. Officers were called just before 5 o'clock tonight to the patio outside the Five Guys. The victims were complaining of minor pain but declined treatment from EMS. Investigators think the shots were fired by a group of men in a white sedan, and they're hoping surveillance video will help identify those suspects.
An elementary school near the Fresno Fairgrounds placed on lockdown today after gunshots rang out. This all happening just after 2 in the afternoon in the area of Maple and Florence Avenues. Officers quickly responding and found numerous bullet casings at the scene. One person was shot, a man in his 20s. He managed to jump over a wall into an apartment complex. He was then taken to the hospital. The shooting forced Balderas Elementary School to go into a lockdown.
Indication that the school was a target, but we had contacted Fresno Unified School District. They put themselves on lockdown.
And no word at this point on a suspect. The victim is expected to survive.
Tonight was Fresno's first Neighbors Night Out event. The police department and the Neighborhood Watch teamed up to host events tonight in neighborhoods around the city. It's all in an effort to help promote police and community partnerships. Our Catherine Phillips attended those events tonight and has more on why police say this is crucial.
Recently, the Fresno City Council set aside $300,000 to revive Fresno's Neighborhood Watch programs, and they say events like this one tonight are part of that plan.
We don't have enough police officers to put one in every neighborhood, obviously, or on every street corner. We highly depend on our community to get involved. When they see something that is either a crime or something going on that's suspicious, we encourage them to call.
With food, games, and fun for kids as the backdrop, the Fresno Police Department is hoping fun events like Neighbors Night Out gets community members out of their homes and talking to one another. All in an effort to promote the Neighborhood Watch program. Fresno Police Chief Paco Valderrama says the Neighborhood Watch is crucial to their department. And recently, the Fresno City Council set aside $300,000 to revive the program.
We receive almost 1 million 911 calls a year, and the vast majority of those calls are made by citizens who notice something that's going on, either a crime or something suspicious, and they call us.
Ken Jones, who lives near University Park in Central Fresno, says he liked the event police held Wednesday night. He says his neighbors are good about talking to each other and keeping an eye on what's going on. He says he appreciated the chance to talk to officers today about what more can be done to keep their area safe and wanted to talk about response times.
Police kind of slow, honestly. I got to tell you, they're kind of slow. But, maybe this will change things.
Valderrama says he wants neighbors to know the community can make a difference in solving and preventing crimes. Even with this weekend's homicides, he says the homicide rate is still lower than it was last year and says it takes everyone's involvement to keep the trend going down.
That doesn't happen just by chance. That happens with a very proactive police department, but it also happens with a lot of communication between the police department and our community.
This was Fresno's first Neighbors Night Out event, and they do hope to bring more events like this again. Reporting in Fresno, Catherine Phillips, Ksee 24, local news that matters.
Continuing coverage now, a woman and her boyfriend now in prison for grooming her 12-year-old daughter into a three-way relationship. 40-year-old Tammy Schreiner sentenced to 4 years behind bars today. Her 42-year-old boyfriend Brent Cox also sentenced to over 16 years in prison. Schreiner, Cox, and his wife were in an open relationship. They started to groom Schreiner's daughter in 2020 to become Cox's third wife. With shackles on his feet and the word prisoner written on the back, Cox read an apology in the courtroom.
I understand what I did is wrong. I deeply regret what I've done. And I apologize to everybody that I hurt, the victim, the families, and for my inappropriate behavior.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring it.
The victims' families calling Cox and Schreiner's apologies insincere. Back in January, Cox's wife, Jill, was sentenced to a year in county jail and 4 years of probation. The judge calling this one of the most shocking cases he's ever seen.
A man accused of murdering his girlfriend's 8-year-old daughter pleading not guilty today in Merced County. 34-year-old Dante Jackson is also charged with child abuse in connection with the death of 8-year-old Sophia Mason. Police found the girl's body in the bathtub of Jackson's home after her mother, Samantha Johnson, led them to the house. Johnson is also charged with murder and child abuse. She pled not guilty last week. Jackson is due back in court in November.
The Fresno County Democratic Party demanding the state attorney general to investigate District Attorney Lisa Smitkamp accusing her of weaponizing the Public Integrity Unit for political gain. A rally was held today in front of the courthouse following City Council President Nelson Esparza's scheduled arraignment that was then pushed back. Esparza charged with attempting to extort former Fresno City Attorney Doug Sloan. Esparza was charged after the DA's Public Integrity Unit began investigating comments Esparza allegedly made to Sloan during a private conversation. But the Democratic Party claims Schmidt-Camp only goes after those on the left and turns a blind eye to conservatives.
In the past few years, she has been targeting very prominent elected officials, black and brown elected officials.
The County Democratic Party and a coalition of labor unions want the state attorney general's office to investigate Schmidt-Camp's office, which Schmidt-Camp says she will welcome that investigation. She also says her office's Public Integrity Unit has seen an increase in confidential complaints, which she suspects are being used for political attacks.
And still to come on Ksee 24 News at 11, former President Trump and 3 of his children now facing a civil lawsuit.
Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
More on the charges against them that include large-scale fraud.
And another rate hike by the Federal Reserve in an effort to curb inflation.
Your weather headlines for tonight. Today we say farewell to summer, and tomorrow we will welcome autumn. Although sunshine will be with us through the weekend, and the valley will be heating back up into the 90s once again. Your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz. Allergy will be in the medium range through the weekend. Ragweed, almond, peanut pods, the predominant pollens. And I'll have your complete forecast as Ksee 24 News continues.
I'm waking up my day, so let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on, keep the morning moving right along. Yeah, I'm waking up my day, you make it feel alright. I'm waking up my day, waking up my day. Don't you know I'm ready for whatever comes my way? I'm waking up my day.
The 2022 Subaru Crosstrek is as powerful as your sense of adventure. Its 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine makes exploring fun. Sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard. And the Crosstrek has the best resale value in its class for 2 years running. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Tonight we have an all-new show. Eli Manning will be joining us. Plus Michael Rowland. It's a great show tonight.
It's an all-new Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon tonight on NBC.
Bad bosses. We've all had at least one. But now one of those bad bosses, John Duarte, is running for Congress. John Duarte, sued by his own employees for refusing to pay wages he owed, not paying overtime, and denying his employees rest breaks, even meal breaks. What Duarte's employees say he did is abusive. So if that's how bad boss John Duarte's employees say he treated them, does the Central Valley really want John Duarte bossing us around in Congress? House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
We believe in care that goes the extra mile without having to drive miles to another city. We believe leading-edge technology is only as good as the people who use it. And we believe a healthy brain requires a team of the brightest minds. At Community Neurosciences Institute, we provide our patients with unrivaled care and attention for every step of their journey right here at home. It's just one of the many reasons a healthier community starts here. Ksee 24 News is brought to you in part by Midland Tractor. Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, there's a couple of things I'm about to share with you that kind of make me happy. The fact that we've been below normal for a few days, and we still were today. 82, definitely below normal. The other thing that makes me happy is that actually the normal high temperature is below 90 for the first time in a long time. So I'm happy that those temperatures are finally cooling off. Finally getting towards a feel of fall, even though tomorrow we actually officially switch seasons. 70 degrees now in Fresno, 68 in Hanford and Visalia, 67 in Madera and also Merced, same for Porterville and Lemoore. Looking at time-lapse photography from our Valley Cam, we saw a few clouds, we call them fair weather clouds, kind of popped up, but as the sun was going down, even those clouds just kind of disappeared. So we end up with clear skies for tonight, and we're going to have a lot of sunshine coming our way tomorrow. Live radar, no big surprise that we've had a lot of clear skies. All of the rain that's left over is all gone now, but it was in Northern California for a while, maybe into the Northern Sierra, but now it's all gone. And according to Futurecast, the entire state is going to stay pretty dry for tomorrow, and that's going to lean towards warmer temperatures. Well, clear skies at night, at least right now, are going to help our temperatures stay on the cool side. So we're looking at a lot of 50s tonight on the valley floor. 52 in Pixley, 58 for Kettleman City and Huron. Hanford 57, 55 in Selma, 57 in San Joaquin, Mendota 56 in Chowchilla, Merced and Los Banos 57 degrees. High temperature, Mariposa 78 but 84 in Chowchilla, Firebaugh 85 and 86 in Mendota, 85 also in 5 Points in Selma, Squaw Valley 79, 86 for Hanford, 85 in Corcoran and Tulare, 84 in Porterville, Delano 83 degrees. Our air quality, well, that's mainly in the good range. Unfortunately, Fresno and Tulare County on the valley floor going to lean towards moderate. As we get a little bit warmer, that'll happen. Your renewable solar forecast, this will also happen with the influence of sunshine. Very high electricity generation numbers, very high energy savings. With the temperatures down, this is the time you want solar panels because you're getting all that sunshine and you're not having to spend it all on running the air conditioner as much. 61 will be the overnight low. That's slightly cooler than what we had this morning. Northwest wind at 10 miles per hour. The clear skies will translate into sunshine for tomorrow. We end up a little bit warmer, hitting a high of 85. Now the autumnal equinox, meaning it officially becomes fall, at 6:03 p.m. tomorrow night. Northwest wind at 10 miles per hour generally through the day. 91 will be our high temperature on the first full day of fall, and so we're going to call it hot again. Temperatures are going to be back into the mid and upper 90s right on through Monday, but it looks like Monday will be the top, hitting 97 and then backing away a degree at a time on Tuesday and Wednesday, but still mid-90s. It's still going to be above average. Your regional forecasts, they are available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check it out there. But it looks like that's a little on the hot side. You know, we're talking about October here pretty soon, and mid-90s is very warm for that time of year.
That's enough of that.
I would like it to end myself.
We may be in shorts till December.
Yeah, well, actually, I would wear shorts.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You're one of those year-round kind of guys. Okay.
Yep.
All right, time to see what's coming up next in sports.
And for that, we check in with Scott Bemis. Hey, Scott.
Hey, guys, we're going to check in on Aaron Judge as he tries to make some more home run history in New York. And it was a special night for the Fresno Athletic Hall of Fame as they induct a new class at a brand new venue. That's next at Sports Central.
Many places full of history mark the valley. Join me as I take you on a tour of the people and places that made history right here in our backyard. This week, the story of an owl, a tree, and an explorer. On the Map, Thursdays at 6 on Ksee 24.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
Want a permanent solution to homelessness? You won't get it with Prop 27. It was written and funded by out-of-state corporations to permanently maximize profits, not homeless funding. 90% of the profits go to out-of-state corporations permanently. Only pennies on the dollar for the homeless permanently. And with loopholes, the homeless get even less permanently. Prop 27. They didn't write it for the homeless. They wrote it for themselves.
Politician David Valadao. He says he's fighting for Valley families, then puts himself first in Washington. Valadao voted against economic relief for us during COVID, but his family business collected thousands in government relief. With prices surging, Valadao opposed raising the minimum wage. Valadao even sided with drug makers, refusing to cap insulin prices. Congress is working great for David Valadao, but Valadao's not working for us. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When nature calls, make sure you're ready to answer. With the most awarded lineup of SUVs ever. Get great offers on our entire Jeep lineup during Jeep Adventure Days. Come experience the Clovis difference.
clean, safe, and reliable water. For State Senator Melissa Hurtado, it's a basic right for every family and farm. So she's doing the hard work across party lines to improve our water infrastructure.
Senator Hurtado is teaming up with her colleagues from both sides of the aisle to fix the canal.
$130 million a year to make sure that water is accessible.
Clean, safe, and reliable water for families and farms. State Senator Melissa Hurtado. She's all Valley.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
KC 24 News is brought to you in part by the Big Fresno Fair. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Wednesday night marked the 63rd annual enshrinement ceremony for the Fresno Athletic Hall of Fame. Always a special night for sports here in the Valley, but it carried a little extra meaning this year because it was also a grand opening for the permanent new home of the Hall at the Save Mart Center. A ribbon-cutting ceremony took place before the event, which was also emceed by Sports Central's Andrew Martin. Now, anyone could stop by and check out memorabilia on display from members of the Hall. The headliner in this year's class was the recently retired Ron Scott, the winningest baseball coach in California community college history in his time at Fresno City.
Well, I'm honored. I've told people I've been coming to this for so many years, but when I first moved to the Valley a long time ago, I thought, God, what a great Hall of Fame and all the famous people in it. And now I'm one of them. I'm like really honored.
It's going to be a battle of desperate teams Sunday in Tennessee when the Titans host the Raiders. Both teams will enter at 0-2. And remember, since 1990, only 30 of the 265 teams who began 0-2 made the playoffs. Well, at his press conference Wednesday, Derek Carr was asked a bunch of football questions. But at the end, he was also asked about someone else who was at Fresno State with him, Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, man. Oh, I love him. I told him about maybe 7 home runs ago. I was like, man, just congratulations. It's not tampering for me, so hopefully he ends up a Dodger, so we'll see.
Dodger fans can dream. Judge, 1 homer away from tying Roger Maris's American League record of 61. Members of the Maris family in the building Wednesday night in New York. First at bat, he lines a double to left. Now, he struck out in the 2nd, then in the 5th. Aaron, maybe? Nope, doesn't have enough height there. It's another double. He grounded out in the 7th, then got one last at-bat in the 8th, but in an 11-2 game, the Pirates pitcher would walk him on 4 pitches. Come on! The Yankee fans showed their displeasure at that move. Judge goes 2 for 4. The average up to .317 now, which is tied with Xander Bogaerts for the league lead. Remember, if Judge can win the batting title, he'll likely win the Triple Crown. Finally, that story a little better than the rest. It's Bemis' best. And before Wednesday's game, injured Red star Joey Votto was honored for being the team's nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award, which basically goes to someone who's a great guy on and off the field. Well, Joey then put on a Barry Larkin jersey and just started hanging out with fans. The 6-time All-Star former MVP showing why he's one of the more popular players in baseball. And perhaps more importantly, he also gets a coveted spot in Bemis' best. How cool is that? The Reds have one of the worst records in the league, but they might be able to sell a few more tickets here if the fans know they might be able to chat up a big league star during the game. The news continues after the break.
Gas prices have almost doubled for me.
I think it's almost tripled.
I
$150.
didn't fill it up.
It's not a good feeling. It hurts a little more every time.
We had a chance to lower the gas tax. Rudy Salas didn't back it.
What did he do? Stood around, he did nothing.
Yeah, he didn't even show up for the votes.
Typical politician, living the high life. Rudy Salas is listening to his donors. He's not listening to us. He doesn't really care about us. Rudy Salas is in it for himself.
Definitely not the kind of guy we need in Congress.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When you have connections, life is good. And life's really good for Sacramento politician Adam Gray. You paid his salary and benefits most of his adult life. Gray took lavish trips and gifts from special interests. Gray played the system. Even his scandal-ridden father-in-law got in on the gig. Registered as a state lobbyist once Gray got elected. Adam Gray, he's connected the Sacramento way. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Owning your own home is a dream come true.
So many Californians never missed a mortgage payment before COVID.
The pandemic hit all of us hard.
We could use a fresh start.
If you've missed mortgage payments during COVID, California Mortgage Relief can help save your home. Direct payments to your lender to cover missed payments. No fees, nothing to pay back. Find out if you qualify today. camortgagerelief.org.
There's no aspect of this job that I haven't done. There is a huge advantage in that. What matters is how what you say and what you ask and what you demand resonates. That's what's mattered. It wound up becoming really clear to me that not only am I not going to walk away, but I'm going to walk right back into it with a determination that I have never had before. This time I'm going to be on the insurgent side, to change the game, to be different. New perspective, new purpose, new network. That's News Nation.
Why was Jacoby & Myers voted the #1 injury law firm 3 years in a row? Because we have experienced attorneys, we deliver for our clients, and we win again and again. We get our clients up to 10 times the original insurance offer. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
Messy garage? Get organized with custom cabinets, shelving, and countertops to make life a little less stressful. Call now for a free design consultation.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
This is Ksee 24 News at 11.
Former President Trump will face a $250 million civil fraud lawsuit from the New York Attorney General. And the civil suit announced by New York AG Letitia James also includes 3 of Trump's adult children and the organization they operate. The lawsuit alleges that Trumps were involved in a large-scale fraud, often by overvaluing assets like buildings and golf courses to deceive banks.
No one is above the law. Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
The Attorney General is seeking a $250 million judgment and restrictions on future businesses that the family can conduct in the state. Trump's defense team says the charges are meritless and politically motivated.
For the 5th time this year, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates in a move to curb inflation. The rates will rise by 0.75 percentage point, pushing the new rate to above 3%. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, prices are up for almost everything by nearly 8.5%.
Still to come here at 11, winning the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes is a long shot at best.
But a man from Indiana beat the odds. What he plans to do with his winnings next.
At Tough Shed, we've spent the last 40 years testing the strength and durability of our buildings in some pretty unique ways. And we're still hard at work, making sure that our buildings are built to last. Just see for yourself. Is it ready?
It's ready.
Experience the Tough Shed difference for yourself at toughshed.com.
Gas prices have almost doubled for me.
I think it's almost tripled.
$150.
Didn't fill it up.
It's not a good feeling.
It hurts a little more every time.
We had a chance to lower the gas tax. Rudy Salas didn't back it.
What did he do? Stood around, he did nothing.
Yeah, he didn't even show up for the votes.
Typical politician, living the high life. Rudy Salas is listening to his donors. He's not listening to us. He doesn't really care about us. Rudy Salas is in it for himself.
Definitely not the kind of guy we need in Congress.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Bad bosses. We've all had at least one. But now one of those bad bosses, John Duarte, is running for Congress. John Duarte, sued by his own employees for refusing to pay wages he owed, not paying overtime, and denying his employees rest breaks, even meal breaks. What Duarte's employees say he did is abusive. So if that's how bad boss John Duarte's employees say he treated them, does the Central Valley really want John Duarte bossing us around in Congress? House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
For decades, I've worked at the intersection of domestic violence and homelessness. So when Prop 27 promised solutions to homelessness, I took a good hard look. It's not a solution. 90% of the money goes to the out-of-state corporations who wrote it. Very little is left for the homeless. Don't let corporations exploit homelessness to pad their profits. Vote no on 27.
Politician David Valadao. He says he's fighting for Valley families, then puts himself first in Washington. Valadeo voted against economic relief for us during COVID, but his family business collected thousands in government relief. With prices surging, Valadeo opposed raising the minimum wage. Valadeo even sided with drug makers, refusing to cap insulin prices. Congress is working great for David Valadeo, but Valadeo's not working for us. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is a story of first downs and second chances.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
You'd think all those big league experts could have helped.
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
His football career ended, but his plantar fasciitis pain didn't. Till he found the Good Feet store.
I got fitted for my arch supports. Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
So get moving. Come in for your free fitting.
Hey everyone, Eli Manning is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Chef Jose Andres, Anna Fabrega, and stand-up Michael Rowland tonight.
All right, finally, we actually have proof now that somebody actually wins the Publishers Clearinghouse contest. Yeah, happens.
Yeah, it can happen. Gregory Robinson of Bicknell, Indiana, won $50,000 from the clearinghouse today. He got the call, or he got the good news, rather, from his city's mayor. He says he's never won anything like this before and says it came as a pretty big surprise.
No, I was expecting some deliveries, but other than that, no. No one expects something like this, I don't think.
And he says he's going to use his good fortune to help someone else. He plans to use the money to pay off his sister's house.
Oh, nice.
Isn't he awesome?
That's paying it forward.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't even know that still existed.
I didn't either, and I've never heard of anyone winning, but now I guess they do sometimes.
There you go.
I see the commercials, you know, and wonder, you know.
Yeah. All right, today's like officially autumn, but it's not
tomorrow it switches. Today's the last day of summer. So that was it. Say goodbye.
Now that's
goodbye and good riddance.
No. So then our temperatures, as soon as fall hits, we start heating up again, right? Because it's funny that way. And temperatures are going to get back into the mid and upper 90s. We'll top out on Monday at 97 and then cool off a little. Oh, yeah, it's been hot, yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Whoa, check out Scott's sneaks.
Sweet. Hey, you can win your own. Just go to our contest page at yourcentralvalley.com. Every month, City Stars gives $100 towards your new pair.
Nice.
Check out Scott Sneaks, a new pair featured each week on KC24's Bulldog Insider.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent